Hi bloomers, welcome to another postcard from the angels. Hope everybody is doing well and enjoying this full moon energy of freedom and liberation. And it's a full moon in Virgo, so it's a bit of a hermit energy, but at the same time it really opens our eyes to like the beauty of life, the beauty of things. And so I feel that this message today is very appropriate to this period. But again, my messages are timeless. Whenever you bump into them, it was your guides bringing you here. So Spirit is saying your problem is not the problem. And I want to expand on this in any way that I can. If you are in a place of a lot of indecision, but at the same time clarity, and a lot of inspiration, but at the same time lack of motivation or procrastination or not being sure about the next steps, and having so many ideas, don't know which one to pick up on, or not having any ideas at all and not knowing what to do with your life. Whatever it is, the situation, you are misjudging the true problem in here. Let's say, for instance, that you are procrastinating. Okay, the procrastination is not your problem. The procrastination is a coping mechanism for your problem. So it's not that you are procrastinating, that's not the problem. The problem is also not that you have a lack of motivation. The problem is that you haven't yet mastered the skills of self-discipline and self-love and demanding the best performance of yourself that you can achieve because you deserve the best results out of it, right? So imagine if you are trying to quit smoking. Okay, this is a good example. If you're trying to quit smoking, smoking is not your problem. The problem is something else underneath the act of smoking. So smoking is actually a coping mechanism for anxiety, for instance, right? You are in a period of your life where you're feeling anxious, and smoking a cigarette actually makes you feel calm. Why does a cigarette make you feel calm when you're anxious? Notice the act of smoking. What you do is you inhale deep and then you exhale the smoke. So what you are doing with a cigarette is a sort of breathing to calm that anxiety that you're feeling. So you would get the same results of calming down your anxiety by simply breathing, right? And you can, I did this when I quit smoking. I did inhaling as if I would be smoking a cigarette, so through my mouth. And then I would hold it just like with a cigarette, and then I would just exhale, like letting go of the smoke, right? And I know it sounds silly, but it is something that works because you have 3 minutes of a desire that is triggered in your mind, and you have to navigate those 3 minutes. And once you do, and even if you have to sit down and breathe for those 3 minutes as if you were smoking, but just inhaling air and providing oxygen to your brain, then you actually would snap out of the desire of smoking, because your problem is not with the cigarettes, child. Your problem is your anxiety. So the cigarettes are just masking that need for breathing, right? Same goes with alcohol. If you feel tempted to drink because you need to release whatever it is that you're feeling, your problem is not the alcohol. Your problem is you're not dealing with that source of pain or whatever it is that you're trying to escape from, right? Would work beautiful for you to have like a full glass of water instead of a glass of wine, and just see how that feels, right? But we tend to think that we have a problem when we actually don't have a problem, and we are trying to deal with the things on the surface instead of going deeper and actually healing what is causing that behavior of smoking or drinking or procrastinating or money. Let's go into money, right? If you are struggling to pay your bills, to make ends meet, to save money, to you don't have a money block. You have a money problem. But money is not your problem. Money is a manifestation of a deeper problem within you. What that problem is your consistency with money, your balance with money. Perhaps you are someone who tends to be very aware and very mindful of your money and very balanced. When you don't have a lot, you tend to pay more attention to what you buy, where you spend your money, where you go, the activities that you entertain, and everything. But as soon as you have money, you tend to spend it all without thinking of saving, right? For those moments where life becomes unpredictable. So it could be a cycle of you not being consistent. And so your journey with money is up and down. You have money comes, but goes as fast as it comes. And you can't seem to save, can't seem to make ends meet. You can't seem to pay your bills. You can't. So it's not a money block. The law of attraction is not going to help you here. It is a money problem, and it needs to be addressed in terms of you being consistent or asking for help, going to an accountant and exposing your situation, right? The reason why we sometimes don't fix our money problems is because of pride and shame, because we are too ashamed of asking for help or getting other resources or sharing with someone or asking for a loan. And so we stay in that energy of shame and pride and we don't fix the problem. And then we stay out of balance, right? So when you have money, you spend it all without thinking. And when you're down on money, you tend to try to buy only the essential and really being mindful and aware, right? So you need to bring that balance. I'm not saying don't spend money at all, but I'm not saying spend everything you have thinking, oh, damn it, we only live once and more will come, right? Find that balance so you can be a grounded foundation for the money to come to you. Because if the problem is you're spending and not enough money is coming, then you need to create a safe home for your money, a safe environment for your money to come to you, right? If you are thinking that your problem is that you don't have a purpose, the problem is that it's not that you don't have a purpose. The problem is you have more doubts than believe that you do have a purpose, right? If you think that your problem is you're afraid to fail, perhaps you're actually afraid to succeed, and that's why you don't have the courage to take the first steps, because God knows what's going to happen next, right? If you feel like you don't have enough clarity in your life, perhaps the problem is not you not having clarity, is just you having too much confusion and not enough honesty about yourself and your relationships, right? Um, Maybe you think that your problem is I worry too much. The problem is not that you worry too much, is that you don't pray enough, right? You only have time to do one of those things. If you pray, you don't have to worry, but if you worry, don't waste time praying, right? So choose one of those. I really feel that this is choose one of those moments where spirit is really telling you your problem is not the problem. What you think it's the problem is not the problem. What you are looking at as a problem is actually a behavior that was triggered as a coping mechanism for the problem. And we tend to do a lot of these things also because we all have childhood PTSD. Let's put it out there. This is something that I really need to create a video separately just for that. But when we grow up in a very unpredictable or unstable environment where you never know if the level of attention or affection or love or understanding is not balanced, is not predictable, right? That you know that your parents are always there to help you, they are always there to listen to you. You grow up and tend to become an unpredictable grown-up as well in regards to your relationships and your money situation and your jobs. Perhaps you jump from job to job. Money comes but goes as fast as it comes. That's unpredictable. Your relationships, same thing. They start very fire and very, very urgently, and then they end up really fast as well. So we all have those childhood PTSDs, and we develop behaviors in our adult life that is very much conditioned by the way we grew up If we grew up in a very unstable and unpredictable environment, then we will tend to recreate that environment for ourselves as grown-ups in everything that we do. So the problem is not that you smoke or that you drink or that you procrastinate or that you don't have a purpose or that you don't have clarity. The problem is something deeper than that. And unless you heal it and you go to the root of the equation and really dive deep into that and are willing to face those cognitive distortions and really change them from the root instead of trying to change the behavior, because that's not going to help. The thing is, imagine, let's go back to smoking and drinking, or even procrastinating, anything. I think this applies to any of those analogies. If you are focusing on, I have to quit smoking, or I don't want to smoke anymore, I don't want to drink anymore, I don't want to procrastinate anymore, I don't want to, you are just focusing on the negative side of the behavior that you want to change. So you're not actually being proactive about manifesting a different behavior because you're so focused on trying to eliminate the one that is wrong. If you would put all your energy into actually manifesting the behavior that is the opposite of that which you want to change, and you would start visualizing yourself not smoking, and you would understand, what would I be doing now if I wasn't smoking anymore? Well, I would definitely exercise more. I would definitely go for a run. I would start doing yoga. I would start doing kickboxing. I don't know, martial arts. I would start doing something good with my body because I would have my energy back, right? When you stop smoking, you get a lot of energy back into your body and you get a lot of mental clarity as well. And you stop procrastinating because cigarettes really assist you in the procrastination. You know, we've all been there. I'm just going to have another smoke and then I'll do that, right? So it's almost like the cigarette is the reward for the sacrifice that we're going to have to do. I don't know, do the dishes or clean the house or whatever. But if you really focus on the behavior that you want to experience as you're already experiencing, like, what would I be doing if I wasn't procrastinating anymore? Well, I would be sitting down and creating my website. I would be sitting down creating my blog. I would be taking 2 hours per day to work on my dreams, to create a business plan, to present my business plan to someone, to, I would be working on that because I would have a lot of free time. So this, not that, right? Focus on trying to go to the root of what you think is a problem, which is not the problem. Try to visualize and create the manifestation of the alternative behavior that you want to see in your life. So not you trying to quit smoking, which is a heavy negative energy, but you already having quit smoking and now you're exercising more, or you eating healthier, or, right? So putting the energy on manifesting the alternative reality that you want to see, rather than spending so much energy trying to tear down the negative side of the behavior, because then you're going to feel frustrated, you're going to feel like a failure, and you're going to keep on saying, tomorrow is the day I'm going to do it, tomorrow is the day I'm going to do it, instead of actually taking proactive action to do it today, right? So this is a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy here, I feel, but it's really you having to sit down with those emotions and go like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Because this is just a behavior. This is the result of something that I've been ignoring. So let me just sit down and address it in order to actually change it, right? I'm going to leave it at that. If any of you feels guided, if you need help, please reach out to me. I'm happy to record a postcard for you and go deeper into the root of these issues. Perhaps with some cognitive behavioral therapy included as well. But I feel that this is like a moment of shift for you, but almost like having to peel off the old skin and go like, these behaviors cannot go with you. And it's not because they are wrong for you. It's just because the way they make you feel when you do them, right? It's about the inner dialogue that you have when you smoke a cigarette, or when you procrastinate, or when you get to bed and you realize that you didn't do what you set yourself to do, or when you say that you're going to start exercising next week on Monday, or the first of the next month. Or it's not about the behavior itself, it's just how much it makes you feel shitty about yourself, and the inner dialogue that happens with all of that. You go like, I am a failure, I'm not standing up to my commitments, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. So pay attention to how your childhood environment was creating some unpredictable behavior, or some instability that is actually triggering this reality that you are recreating over and over again, in order to heal it and release it and live something different. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings, and I'm really praying that you stay safe and protected within the power of your own heart. Big love to all of you.